Okay, I haven't heard Desiree's names yet, but that's okay. I'm going to continue on. Desiree, if you decide to speak up and pop in here, when you do, please say your name so that I know that you're here, okay? All right. Can any of the spirits tell me what was the date that Desiree went missing? What was the date, the last day that anybody spoke physically to Desiree? Can you confirm her date that she went missing? Okay, I'm pretty sure I heard the 7th right off the bat. Okay, she was last seen January 7th, 2012. Where is Desiree physically located right now, today? Was Desiree murdered? Is Desiree spiritually here with us right now? Who murdered Desiree Thompson? Can you tell me his or her name? Threw her off the back porch. What? Where was she killed? Can you tell me that? Where did she take her last breath? Like, where did the murder take place? What date did Desiree die? Was she murdered? Was she shot with a gun? How old was Desiree when she died? Okay, I'm going to end this session soon, so I'm going to give you a chance to use this last minute or so to tell me whatever it is that you want to tell me before we stop this session.
and they get run out of there. So you're sitting up here talking about you're shorthanded. You don't have the resources. You don't have this. You don't have that. You get them, and what do? And this is exactly what they did with Detective O'Quinn when he came in. There's a podcast, and he is on this podcast. The guy that is telling the story, he does like murder stories and things like that. And he did an interview with Desiree Shiver's mom and Detective O'Quinn. And O'Quinn clearly states that it's politics. It's got to do. The town is broke. Well, the town, the town is basically in the pocket of that dude that owns a weed shop out there. Yeah. It's a lot of political stuff going on out there. There's a lot of corruption going on out there. And so Detective O'Quinn stated that in this interview.
I feel like it's everywhere,
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is, but this is a little bitty town.
And in Cal City Police Department, different. Like they're not paid like normal police departments.
They're privately owned out there.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, Detective O'Quinn, he stated, I had said earlier that how they, the city officials were like, well, you know what, we're not gonna worry about the dead ones. We'll deal with the live ones. We ain't gonna worry about the dead ones. We're gonna spend our time over there.
That's such bull.
Yeah. And he basically, he was run out of there because he's digging, he's searching, he's trying to find answers. He's finding, you can't help but find the stuff that's going wrong when you're going through these cases, stuff that they didn't do right or, mishandled or whatever the heck they did. You know what I'm saying? He's going through these with a fine-tooth comb. And so he's finding stuff. Well, he obviously dug a little too deep for them, and they gave him the boot. I was devastated because out of 9 years, he was the only one that actually went out there and was working these cases. He was my only hope for my daughter. And he all of a sudden now he's not there and he's gone, and it's like, this place they're full of, and I just it angers me because it's like, I would like to go out there and just shake a few of them and like, hey, what if this was your kid? What if this was your child? Right. Yeah. The bottom line is we're not looking at 8 cold cases anymore. We're looking at 10.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter, I know who did what they did to my daughter.
Right.
And that was her husband.
Right.
And they let him walk, never talking to him. He's never flipping been questioned. When a spouse comes up missing, the first person they look at is the spouse that ain't missing.
Right. He disappeared the same day she did. I mean,
he has, exactly. And there was domestic violence. There was a gun involved. All these things. He's a parolee. He's in violation of parole. He's got multiple violations against him at this point. But the police department failed. Department of Corrections failed.
Yeah. And didn't you say that they dropped his warrant?
They told me the warrant expired.
Right. Yeah. I've never heard of a warrant expiring, but
thank you. Okay, so this is how they tried. I've never spoken to the FBI, but I was told that the FBI had been contacted. And I believe it because even when Detective O'Quinn was out there, he brought in other agencies as well.
But they never talked to you?
Huh?
They never talked to you?
I never spoke to me, no.
But they never talked to you?
Nope.
That's really weird.
But Detective O'Quinn, but see, Desiree Schiller's mom, she's had her hands deep in a lot of this stuff, I think she knows some stuff that's going on out there in Cal City. They've actually, there's been threats to her. So I just don't want to really put all that out there, but
no, I get it.
And her daughter is the one that died out there, was found dead in the park.
So Detective O'Quinn is, okay, so I'm Mandy, I'm the one that did the spirit box. I don't know if you realized it was me or not.
Right.
Okay. Is that the detective that also worked on Gabriel Fernandez's case? The one the spirit said during my spirit box session?
Yes. Okay. And he also said when he did this podcast, he also said that there are 6 cases out there that have enough evidence to solve them, but the city doesn't want to do it.
Oh, wow.
Get that one out.
So do you know where he is now? Is there a way for you to get in contact with him now?
Detective O'Quinn?
Yeah.
I would have to go through Deb Schiller, Deb Phones. I mean, Deborah's mom. I think she has the other number because when he left, he sent me a message, and I haven't had contact with him since he left. He sent me a message telling me he was no longer there, politics and this and that, whatever was going on, and he just wished me luck. But that, because when he left, he sent me a message, and I haven't had contact with him since he left. He sent me a message telling me he was no longer there, politics and this and that, whatever was going on. And he just wished me luck, but that
I wanted to do, a good job for Desiree and for you.
Thank you. I appreciate you doing that. I just, when I heard, I appreciate everybody. I promise you, everybody that puts their name out there, everybody that.
Girl, we got you. No, you are fine. You are allowed to cry. You cried out. Danny, yes. When I did the spirit box session, they said Gabriel Fernandez's name, and it made no sense to me. And then when Sheri watched the session, she sent me a message and said, that's why they said his name, because that same detective worked both cases. And that's the only time that his name has ever come across my spirit box session. And I just found out who he was about 2 months ago when I watched the Netflix series.
Yes, and you know what? Let me tell you, when I first met him, I had reservations because I've made it perfectly clear I don't trust the police at all. And when I met with him, I met with him and this lady, Vanessa, I can't remember her last name, but she works for the DA's office in the victims department. And when I met with them, I'm on guard. It's like I have this shield up because I just don't trust them. And when I started talking to him and I ran everything down that I knew from that night and everything, I just trusted him. It was like, okay, I felt like a burden had been lifted off of me. I felt I could literally trust him. It's like I had to redo my brain to think that I still have her because I have her kids.
Right.
But it's still hard because I don't have her to come in and give me a hug, or I don't get to hear her laugh.
I believe that all of this is coming together how it's supposed to right now.
I think so too. I know everything's in God's time, and I don't know if he was waiting for me to really be ready for the outcome.
That could be.
I don't know what the reasoning, and it's not for me to really try to figure it out.
Right.
I just have to trust that it's going to be revealed, and I just want to bring her home, and I want to move on with my kids, and the beginning of this year, I told myself I'm going to celebrate her life and try to do less of the mourning, but it's hard. It's really hard because when I think about her, I miss her so much.
Guess who just messaged me?
Oh.
Tim O'Quinn.
What? Are you serious? Stop it. Oh my gosh, I just got goosebumps all over. I'm telling you, everything happens for a reason. Oh my gosh.
I'm serious. He just messaged me.
Oh my gosh.
No, it's good.
This is crazy.
Wow.
I'm like creeped out right now.
Oh my gosh.
What the heck?
I'm telling you, Desiree is with you. Sheri, she is with you. Oh my gosh.
I haven't heard from him in months.
Oh my gosh. Stop it. Oh, that's amazing. That is amazing. Tracy just said, dude, oh my God, spirits are working. Exactly. Exactly. We can't share the StreamYard. I can't even talk. The StreamYard link right now. Nina's gone. Yeah, Nina's gone. He left us. And my email is spiritseekersquad@gmail.com. If you guys in the chat want to email me. Oh my gosh. I'm smoking.
Yeah, I'm serious. I'm like tripping. I'm like really tripping right now. This is crazy. He's literally messaging me right now. Wow.
Desiree is making things happen. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah.
Whew.
Let me see.
Yeah, so I was just asking you what you do because my brother, he also passed away a couple months ago. So that's why I
Oh,
was
I'm
just
so sorry.
asking you, what it is that you did in
Yeah,
regards to spirit.
that's what it is. And I'm open to try. I mean, I have a lady that just emailed me the other day that wants me to try to reach out to her nephew that was murdered, that was 20. So I'm going to try to do that. Up until recently, I've never really done private sessions for other people. I've always just done them for myself, my family. And when I started this channel, it was like I just wanted to try to reach out and try to help however I can, whoever I can. And, I've had some validating things happen that kind of make me feel more secure about doing it more wide range. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to give anybody false hope or give anybody false information or, like I'm a very factual kind of person. So I would never put something out that I didn't believe in. So I feel more confident and I feel like, I have that confirmation. Okay, guys, in the chat, she said that the detective that we were just talking about that was working Desiree's case, that also worked Gabriel Fernandez's case, just sent her a message and she has not spoken to him in years.
I haven't spoken to him in at least a year or more, year and a half, something like that. When he left, that's the last time I heard from him. This is crazy for him to just pop up like that.
I know.
Wild. It's like, wow.
Like, I want to turn my spirit box on right now.
I'm like, whoa.
I want to say thank you, Desiree.
Thompson's mother, Sheri, says having no answers to her daughter's whereabouts after all these years leaves her disheartened.
I'm so frustrated with this case. I just want closure for my daughter. I want to bring my daughter home, and I want justice to be served. And I want everybody held accountable.
According to Smith, the morning of January 7th, 2012, she went to go see her daughter Desiree, who told her she'd been in an argument with her estranged husband. She said it was here at their home on 68th Street in Cal City that he threatened Desiree with a shotgun. Later that evening, Smith says her daughter was at an acquaintance's house using their cell phone and that she wanted to go back to her home that night. The next day, Smith went to her daughter's home to find she wasn't there. Another acquaintance said she never returned that night and they reported her missing. Smith said she called back the number Desiree had used the night before, and the owner of the phone said Desiree had gone to the Cactus Mini Mart to buy a cigarette. It was here on 83rd Street that Desiree was last seen.
For someone just to vanish without a trace, of course, that's unusual.
Cal City Police Chief John Walker said Desiree's estranged husband, Edward Gibson III, is a person of interest and has a history of domestic violence. But he says so far, they've yet to find concrete evidence connecting him to Desiree's disappearance that night.
Because you only get one shot. You only get one bite of the apple. So if you don't have enough to convict them and they walk, the double jeopardy thing comes in.
A former investigator on the case said the department has worked hard and is actively investigating cold cases like Desiree's, but overturn and a lack of resources over the years has made it difficult. Chief Walker saying the difficulty with these cases isn't a lack of resources, but making sure they get it right all the way through to conviction.
We're pretty sure we still know where to find him if need be. And now that's what would happen if we got that nugget of evidence to say, hey, this person actually did it. You know, we have the DNA to prove it. We have an eyewitness. We have a video.
Smith taking little solace in this, saying she knows there are witnesses to the domestic dispute that evening, and she knows her daughter would never leave her children and go this long without any contact.
When does your conscience start working? When does the compassion come in to help these families?
Now, there is a $25,000 reward for any information regarding this case. Anyone with information is asked to call Cal City PD at 760-373-8606.
Yeah, Tammy, well, California City Police Chief John Walker made one thing clear. This is not in connection to the West Boys Brothers case, but we just confirmed with Sheri Smith, mother of Desiree Thompson, who's been missing since 2012, that it is in regards to her daughter's case. Now, Chief Walker said earlier today that it was only in connection to a case that had gone cold out of California City. Well, heavy police presence is at the large crime scene at a home on 87th Street and Lime Avenue in California City. The FBI is also there gathering evidence and assisting the small California City Police Department, which only has about 21 officers to patrol the entire city of California City. Now, Chief Walker says they did receive credible information to obtain a search warrant to look for evidence inside of this home, but there are several cases that have gone unresolved for years or without any justice. One of those being the case of Desiree Thompson, which she went missing back in 2012.
What I do want to definitely stress, this has nothing to do with the West Boys, which has been a major case here in Cal City as of recent, and has nothing to do with the occupants of this residence. These people are good people. They just happen to be in a location of where we believe a crime occurred several years ago before they ever purchased the property.
Now, that case that he was referring to, as we confirmed with the mother of Desiree Thompson, is in relation to this case. She's been missing since 2012, and it's been a real head scratcher for the police department there. Her husband is a person of interest in this case, but he has also not been located in regards to this case. Now, again, police have not confirmed what exactly they have found or if they have found anything at that home. The mother of Desiree Thompson has also confirmed to us that she doesn't really know who used to live in that home, but we will continue to update you as we learn more about this.
Tonight with the cold case out of California City. 10 years later, the person arrested and charged in connection with the 2012 disappearance of a California City woman, Desiree Thompson, faced a judge for the first time today. 23 ABC's Taylor Beck joins us in studio with more on the plea entered in court and what the judge decided. Taylor.
Jose Lara pleaded not guilty to a first-degree murder charge. The judge also found him to be a significant danger to the public and denied bail. Lara was arrested in March after authorities found human remains at a house Lara used to live at during the time of Thompson's disappearance. The remains have not yet been identified by the coroner, but the district attorney's office says there is enough evidence to charge Lara in connection to the crime.
The detectives did tell me that her nor her husband knew this person.
Sheri Smith says September 7th, 2012 was the last time anyone saw or heard from her daughter, Desiree Thompson.
It's a little bit shocking that it actually was not her husband. It's a totally different suspect.
Smith says an acquaintance told her Desiree had gone to the Cactus Mini Mart in Cal City to buy cigarettes after she had been in an argument with her estranged husband that evening, but never came home.
She started dealing with the abuse, physical, mental, emotional. They're 100% sure that her husband, Edward, had nothing whatsoever. There's absolutely no connection to him in this case.
The California City Police Department has been investigating ever since. And according to the offense report, in January of this year, someone who claimed to be a past friend of Lara's notified the California City Police Department that Lara had confessed to killing a black woman in 2012 and burying her body in the backyard of his house. At that time, Lara lived at a home on 86th Street in California City. According to the informant in the offense report, Lara had gotten into an argument at a party that night and waited outside to get revenge. Lara allegedly approached individuals he was looking for, but it turned out to be a woman, and he invited her over for beer. The informant adds that when they got to his house, he smashed her head into the refrigerator and stabbed her multiple times.
I don't know if he looked at her as prey or at some time did something went wrong during the encounter between him and her. I don't know.
According to the offense report, the California City Police Department obtained a search warrant for the house at 86th Street. Lara no longer lives there, but authorities got permission from the home's current residents. Investigators later found human remains in the backyard, blood spots on the concrete underneath the carpet, clothing, hair, and other items.
So there's a lot of credible evidence. They're pretty sure this could be her. But like I said, they can't confirm or deny anything at this point until the DNA is done.
Smith says all they can do now is wait, but she is grateful for law enforcement's help.
It's not the way I wanted to bring my daughter home, but I can finally bring her home and she can be home with us. And we can finally move forward with the justice.